Yes, hello. Today we have the 10 rules of whom? Of Neal Donald Walsch. Yes, this wonderful man who wrote these books about conversations with God, all three of them, and a few other ones as well. Get inspired by these really, really nice rules for your life. It's a memory, it's a reminder. Yes, enjoy.
Yes, the first goal is how you touch others' lives, the way you want to say it. Animals, people, how do they feel when they connect with you? This is it. And from my experience, I had as I was 34, around 34, I had that. I lived my life. I was successful. I studied mechanical engineering. I was the only woman in that, doing that, and having a good degree and having a good work, and traveled around the world. I was enjoying I was dancing, I was painting, I was climbing, I was doing everything that I ever wanted to do. But then as I was 34, around that, I was coming to a point where I thought, what is this all about? Is this all about just me satisfying my needs? I felt a big hole inside that made me very, very sad and struggling. I didn't understand what it was and what was going on. And now listen to Neal Donald-Walsch, how he's explaining it. It was his experience and what his answers were as he had his conversations with God, as he says.
For the first 50 years of my life, Vishen, I thought that my life was about me. I had the attitude of a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old or a 6-year-old, but I had that attitude when I was 29, 39. I thought I wasn't a bad person. I'm not trying to paint myself as this horrible individual, but I was fairly self-centered. I was looking at my own career, my own goals, my own objectives, my own needs, my own wants, my own desires. I tried to be even-handed about it. If somebody helped me out, I tried to give back if I could, and all those things that we're taught to do, but basically, my life was focused on me. Fascinatingly, even though my life was focused on me virtually all the time, my life wasn't working. I mean, at some point in my life, I really got, gosh, I can't seem to find happiness that lasts more than a little while. I can't seem to find success that lasts more than a little while. Everything is so ephemeral. It just comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. I never seem to get anywhere to the top of the mountain. When is the struggle over? That's what I was experiencing when I had my first conversation with God. So that's the context, that's the background, why I was given that wisdom. Because I asked God, okay, obviously there's something here I don't understand. I've listened to what my daddy told me. I listened to what my mommy told me. I listened to what my religion told me. I listened to what my culture told me. But there's some missing data. I felt that there was just some information that was missing. So I said to God, what is it? What is it that I don't understand here? The understanding of which would change everything. And God said to me, Neal, it's really very simple. And then she said what you just said here. Neal, your life is not about you. Your life is about everyone else whose life you touch and the way in which you touch it. And I said, well, I don't understand. I'm supposed to give up everything that I ever wanted or desired or hoped for, or give up all of my goals, all of my objectives. And she said, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You don't have to set aside all of your goals, set aside all of your objectives, set aside all of the things, all of your desires. No, I didn't say that. But it's about achieving them, working toward them, moving toward them in a whole different way for a whole different reason. If you're doing those things to enrich the lives of everyone whose life you touch, watch the world fall in on you with wonder and joy and celebration. But if you're doing those things together, to gather, get, have more, that you just you just want to get as much as you can for yourself. If that's your prime motivation, you're going to be struggling every day for the rest of your life.
Okay, rule number 2, connecting with your soul. Yes, what does that mean, huh? I was thinking the same thing as I heard him saying that. But, of course, I'm 41 now. I will turn 42 this year. What it means is, and this is what I quite understood after listening to so many talks and speeches from all these people inspired on my channel and anywhere else, and through my coaching education. In the past 3 years, I've been to so many seminars and educations I did, and reading books. And now I really more and more understand this, and I practice this, and this is what he's saying in a few minutes after I have explained my view from my experience. It is really to allow yourself to let your brain work that is going on up there. Let it work, but don't focus on it. Don't make this up there make your decisions, because up there it's just experiences. It's no knowledge in there. The real knowledge comes from this very, very silent and very slow talking, very how do you say, like very the English words, the voice that is talking to you, that is coming from your soul, that is a true voice, is a very calm voice. And you can only listen to it when you go into a silent state. Silence, 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 silence. And he tells you how you can reach that in his speech later on. But for me, for instance, I go for walks. I sit here and do meditation. I do Reiki meditation, for example. It's very nice because you can touch with your hands, you can touch parts of your bodies, of your chakras and energy centers, and then concentrate on just inside of you, the inner energy that you are. And if you do that a few times during the day for a few minutes only, you will train that voice to come up and to help you doing much better choices and much better choices in little things as well, in the small things, much more listening. Even if like doing things that are healthy to your whole system, like drinking water or eating nuts or dattles, like you get a lot more connected to your soul, telling you what is good for you, and then you can follow these impulses that come up. Yeah, and now listen to Neal Donald, how he explains it with his words.
But if we ever began to live our daily life from moment to moment, moving inside the wisdom of our soul, I just finished a book, which will be out in a few months, called The Only Thing That Matters. And The Only Thing That Matters argues for the combining of the mind and the soul in the consideration of our daily choices and decisions. See, the mind holds nothing but experience, which it imagines to be knowledge. But experience is not knowledge. It's simply experience. And your experience can be warped by all manner of things. Knowledge, true knowledge, is held in the soul. eternal wisdom is held in the soul. So our job as human beings is to find a way to marry the mind's experience with the soul's knowledge and to come to a place in between. When a person does that, they're said to have been centered. You're really centered in that place between the mind and the soul. All great mystics have found that place. They don't just reject the mind altogether, because the mind's experience is valuable. If I didn't know about the mind's experience, I would touch a hot pan on the stove and burn myself, or put my hand in the socket and get a shock, or walk off the edge of a cliff. So my experience, my mind is a good friend. I'm not saying we should reject our mind, but all the true mystics and masters have found a way to marry the mind and the soul rather than to live exclusively in the mind to the exclusion of the soul. If I had one piece of advice for human beings, it would be connect with your soul. Find a way to connect with your soul every day. Not once a week when you go to church or synagogue or temple, but if you even do that, but every single day.
How do you recommend people connect?
Oh, there's 1,000 ways to do that. Meditation, guided imagery, visualization, ecstatic dance. Whirling dervishes do it all the time. Reading good poetry, praying. There's 1,000 ways. But it starts with willingness. You must be willing. You must say, okay, God, or life, or whatever word you want to use that's comfortable to you. I'm here and I'm willing to be quiet for a moment each day with my soul. And if you do that often enough and regularly enough, ultimately you'll discover an opening, something happens. And it's not just a flash, but it occurs on a regular basis.
The next rule is a nice one. Don't argue with life. Take it as it is. Don't get frustrated about it, whatever happens. The worst thing that can happen, they want to show you something. Like Neal Don.Walsch, he had an incredible story with his accident, with being homeless on the street with nothing. He was almost dying in this car accident and broke his neck, but he's alive. He can walk. With this he really woke up to this life, to this understanding, to not argue with it anymore, and to really ask the question, what am I? Who am I? What am I here for? What is this all about? And from my experience, I have not been so down. I've not had an accident like that. But I was in the hospital, just a year before I told you that I asked, it was after, sorry, I mixed that up. It was after I asked myself, what am I doing here? There I changed my life. And then I still had this path to go, that I ended up in a hospital by a dehydration. I was not able to watch out for me, what is really wanting to be lived inside of me, like expressed to be. I was not able to listen to me, and this way it happened that I came into the hospital and I could not walk, I could not do nothing. I was completely out of my sense. I lost my how do you say, my consciousness. I was sleeping for like almost a day, and then I could not even walk to the toilet. It was so, to me it was an incredible moment. And I was not in my home country. I was somewhere in another country there. It was all together. I was really laying on that bed, asking myself, is this now the moment where I have to ask myself if I want to live or die? And I was so lost. I was feeling so lost. I really didn't know what is going on. And from there I started having panic attacks that this happens again. So yeah, that was really tough. But what I later on, not at that time, but later on, I understood that all this must have happened to change my way of behaving, of being. Yeah, just like Donald explained before, I was also just for myself. I didn't know how to connect to people, or that I can do that anyhow, somehow, or yeah, I didn't know. And only by later, through this coaching, through reading books, through finding out much more about myself, about how we function, there I started realizing this and experiencing this, because I got so, yeah, my energy got so free. I solved so many issues in my life from my past that I all of a sudden had step by step. Well, it was one moment where I had all of a sudden a lot of energy, free. I kind of broke all the old connections of energy, and there it was. All energy was released free. Yeah. So now I want you to listen to Donald's talks about this. His experience is really incredible. About really to not argue with life, to see it from a distant perspective, as puzzle parts put together to make you come to your center, to come to yourself, to your essence, to who you are, why are you here, what is your purpose here.
But I think what creates anger is the mind thinking that what is going on should not be going on, that something else should be happening. So the mind starts looking at what's happening and saying, it shouldn't be like this. God darn it, it shouldn't be like this. I'm getting pretty mad. This shouldn't be like this. Don't argue with life. It is what it is. And when we stop arguing with life and see it for what it is, see, here's to tie it all together, Lilu. When I was on the street for a year, toward the end of that time, not at the beginning, I went through a lot of anger, like you're talking about, and a lot of frustration and disappointment. But finally, I got to a place where I realized, I see what this is all about. I see what this is. This whole experience that I'm having has been given to me by life as an opportunity for me to really get clear on what's important and who I am and why I'm really here on the earth. And I was so stubborn about it. For me, I had to be hit over the head with a 2x4. I had to really lose everything, lose my family, lose my house, lose my job, lose my income. I almost lost my life. What threw me on the street was I was in an automobile accident in which I had my neck broken. Now, most people with a broken neck, God bless them, don't live. You break your neck, you die. And if you don't die, at the very least, you're paralyzed from here down for life. God bless those folks. Somehow or another, I escaped both. I didn't die and I wasn't paralyzed, but I broke my neck, sure as we're sitting here. But I, just in the right place, 1/4 inch off, and the doctors said, you're so lucky. You're just amazingly lucky that your neck snapped in a place where it wasn't crucial. And there aren't very many places like that in your neck, but you escaped. Now, having escaped death, having escaped life as a paraplegic, and having found yourself on the street with nothing to your name, 1 pair of shoes, 1 pair of pants, 3 shirts. Having gone through all of that, what's really important?
Yes, this really is a nice rule, the next one. To really express yourself, your inner self. Because what I'm doing here now, what I'm
talking the way I'm talking to you. I'm checking out these talks and putting them together, and with music, with nice videos, with my own experiences, with my own soul footprint, I would say. This is expression of our inner soul, to show. I mean, doing this, it just gives impulses out there for you, for one of you there, to also step out and think, oh, I want to also, I have so much inside of me, so much that wants to be expressed. I want to do that, and if she can do it, I want to do that too, and I'm going to do that. Something like this. If, like, for example, when I was dancing Irish step dance and flamenco, the way I did that, I was always in an absolutely joyful feeling. I did not take care about, do I do the right step or the right movement or whatever. I just enjoyed all these wonderful movements and sounds that your shoes make and everything. And this is why people liked watching me doing this. Yeah, people told me that it's so nice to watch me doing it, that they could see the joy I have. And this is what it is, to have joy, express yourself. And while you do that, while you start overcoming this step of holding you back and being anxious and, oh, is it good what I'm doing? Is it right what I'm doing? If you step over that and you start, you will find the place of joy. If you go over your border of anxiety, you will feel that joy that fills you up when you really express yourself. So now listen to Donald's talks about it, expression about it.
98% of the world's people are spending 98% of their time on things that don't matter.
That's true.
On things that have nothing to do with why we're here. We get caught up in our doingness. Oh, you don't understand, I'm a cameraman. That's what I do. I'm an audio technician. That's what I do. No, you don't understand. I do interviews. I write books. That's what I do. But those doingness functions are meaningless unless they are ways to demonstrate what we're really here to accomplish. And what we're really here to accomplish is the fullest expression of who we really are. People who step into that activity and come from that awareness are people who change the lives of everyone whose life they touch.
Okay, rule number 5 is also very, very interesting. Oh, yes, it is a trigger one. Don't be the victim of life. Don't say, I have to, I must, I should. Especially when it's a good example with families. With the role you have to play, Donald will talk about that later, the family thing, where you really say, I have to do that, I have to take care of, I have to go to work to pay the bills for, and everything. Yeah. And finally, you're not happy about it, but you decided to do that. You decide what you do. You can decide, you can change your mind, you can decide all the time. You are not a victim. And this is a tough thing, I know, because we are so used to do what we got told from our parents, from our the way they live influences us very much in how we act, how we behave. But stop it, and disconnect from this. and really go into yourself, connect to your soul. And if your soul tells you, okay, go this way, go that way, then go. And don't, don't ever say you're a victim to something. And this is a tough thing for me, for sure. I'm still not going all for 100% the way that I really feel inside that I want to do. I can tell you. Yes, this is my tough one here. And so I cannot really, from my past experiences, I did do how can I say it? I did do things that were against others' voices, for sure. But I can do a lot more. I can go a lot more. Trust me. So please listen to this one from Donald. It's really great what he has to say about this. And this is for all of us. One of the most important issues that we have to face and to go through. And behind that is a big gift for us. Oh, but I have to say, I always know that, I left home quite early. I studied this mechanical engineering thing. I traveled around the world. I did all these things knowing that I have to do what I want to do, because I never want to have to say, oh, I could not do this, I could not do that. And even now, as I'm a mom with 2 children, I always kept in my head, I tell myself all the time, if I hold me back, if some voice is coming holding me back, oh no, you have children, you can't do that. Stop. This voice comes up, no, stop, don't say that. You told yourself you never want to ever give your children that feeling, and they will feel that they are a reason that the mom did not live her life the way she wanted to. So it's really important that you don't do that. That you don't step back and tell yourself, oh, I can't do that because of this or that or something. You can. Yes, you can. And listen, I am sleeping like 3 hours a night since a few months. Before that, for 3 years, I slept like 5 to 6 hours maximum during the night, to be able to go to work, to raise my children, to care about my children, to even care about my now ex-partner, because he was from the beginning in a bad condition, depressing conditions, and I had to take care of him as well, in a way, in many ways. And so what I want to say is, everything is possible. You can do that, and energy is there. If you express yourself, if you go out there and you found, yes, this is my way, I want to become self-employed. No matter if I have children, if this or that or something, I do it. And this is something I learned from my parents. I must say that they did their way. They did what they always wanted, and this is something you have to do as well, no matter what it is. So now listen to Donald's explanations to it. It's wonderful.
One of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking that the things they're doing, that they're required to do them, when in fact they're making a free choice to do that. There are plenty of people who don't work. There are people who actually abandon their families rather than work. They're so unhappy, in their life that they just chuck it all and walk away from it. So the problem with humanity is we keep on making a series of free choices, and then we call ourselves the victims of our own choices. So what I say to people in my audience is, if you don't want to go to work and support your family, then don't. Who's making you do that? Who told you you had to do that? Oh, I just can't walk away. Why not? People do it all the time. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm saying, but when you do what you claim to be the right thing of your own free choice, and then you claim yourself to be the victim of doing the right thing, then you're disowning your own self. You're disowning your own choices. For heaven's sake, if you're going to do what you think is right, at least be proud of it. Don't let yourself talk yourself into that you're the victim of it. What does that say about you if you're the victim of it? What does that say about you? You know, well, I'm only supporting my family and paying my bills and doing what's right because I have no choice? What does that say about you? No, of course you have choice. There's no such thing as no choice. So I say to people, let's understand that what this statement means, there's nothing you have to do, there's nothing we have to do, is God's way of telling us. It's another way of saying you have free choice always about everything. But for goodness sake, stop making free choices and calling yourself the victim of them. Wake up. Notice what's happening. Every act is an act of self-definition. Everything we do defines who we are. But we shouldn't, do all these wonderful things that define who we are and then fail to lay claim to them, reject them, call them not our own.
Yeah, rule number 6 is also, yes, they are all very great. Knowing who you really are. Yeah. And this one, I found out as I was 34. No, 38, sorry, 38, I mixed it up. There I was kind of newborn, reborn, whatever. I was having an experience by that time on a weekend. Actually, it started 2 weeks before because I got some visions in my head every morning when I went to work. When I saw pictures in front of me from a certain landscape, and I thought, what is that? Do I want to move there, or what is going on here? It was so intense and so clear. So, and then 2 weeks later, there was a seminar coming up, an offer for a seminar, and I somehow felt that I have to go there. I don't know, but it pulled me so much to go there. And there it happened. I went to that seminar, and I knew, as I decided to go, I had to organize my children where they're gonna stay for that time. I had one child by that time. I had to organize to get there. I had to in 2 days, but I knew I had to go there. And the moment I decided to do it, everything went in place. I had someone taking care of my child. I all of a sudden realized what's gonna happen to me. I knew I would cry a lot. I knew I want to walk a lot. To the seminar house, I walked every morning. I decided, I looked in the internet for a place that was not so close by to that place of the seminar, because I wanted to walk there, and I knew I had to walk. And you don't understand, it's incredible. I was there, I arrived there, and then in the morning I started walking to that place. Didn't know the direction, I just had my phone and looked up there was a dot on the map where I am, and then I walked outside this little hotel there in this little village, and then I saw exactly that landscape that was always occurring in my visions. There I understood, it was a vision. Oh my goodness, what is that? That's crazy. I had this vision coming up that pulled me there, and then I was there, and there was so much going through my system. I understood so much that I am everything, and everything is me, and I'm not alone. There is just oneness. There is no separation. that everything is connected, and I felt this connection so strongly. I could influence the birds flying above me. I was like connecting to them, asking them to please come back, flying back. They were passing me, and I was asking them to come back, and they did, and it was incredible. I can not tell you how crazy that was. And there I found these questions again coming up. Do I want to live? What? Again, this question, do I want to die for all the bad things happening in this world, the bad things we human do? Because it was laying on my shoulders. I often felt that. I had that a few times in my life, that I felt this huge pressure on my shoulders, like the global sins of all our human failures. And that question came up again. In my life, I had a good life. I'm fine. I'm up. I had no reason to like wanting to kill myself or something like that. Don't believe that this is what I'm talking about. No, it was a different thing. I really sometimes have these strong pressures on my shoulders that I'm selfish. I live my life just for myself, and we humans, we do so bad things, and I'm human, and I do, in a way, I felt that I'm connected to all that, and it pulled me quite often down. And that there, these questions came, and I asked myself again, what, okay, you want to die for these bad things? And I said, yes, okay. The first time I allowed a part of me that wanted to die for all this to really do it. And I know it maybe now you think of the same that I thought of, Jesus Christ story. I am not religious. I've not been grown up religious. Not at all. My parents didn't want that, so I was not. But I remembered a little bit of this, or I don't know, but it just felt, this is what happened to me. I could let that go. I decided to, okay, you can die for this. And I will explain a little more. Maybe you understand that. I was walking on this street there. There was a little, like, it was it was pavement, yeah. And on the side there was grass growing, little flowers blooming, and there were on some fields of this road there were cracks from underneath, from the flowers that wanted to break through that pavement. And I felt like I am such a flower, and I imagined there are flowers underneath that pavement that make space, that make room for others to grow, and they die to let them others grow. And I asked myself, what do I want to be? Do I want to be the one that makes space that so the others can grow, or not? And then I realized, no, the question already is answered, because I'm here on this planet. I'm here, I'm walking, I'm doing my steps, I'm breathing, I'm here alive, I'm existent. So I made that choice already a lot earlier in the place where I was born, or even before that. So the question is not the right question. Stop that question. This question is already answered. You don't have to ask yourself this question anymore. But still there was this part that was then coming up, asking, okay, but what am I here for? Why, okay, I'm here. No, the question was different, because this part wanted to die. It was saying yes. And then I allowed it. I said, yes, okay, then you can go. I let you go. While walking, I was just doing a conversation in my head. And then, okay, this part was gone. And then I asked, then this question came up. Okay, but what? I'm here now. I'm still here. I am here. Okay, what am I doing here? What is my purpose here? What am I here for? Please respond to that question for the last time. I don't want to ask this question ever again in my life. This is what I said. And then, yes, the answer came. And you know how? All energy around me came into me. It was incredible. My whole body was electricized, completely electricized, full of love energy, full of light, warm love energy. That's what it felt like, completely full of live love. And that was the answer. You are love. You are love, and you are live love, and you be that love and shine like it, because it shines. Love light shines. Do that. Shine on, and shine to others. Send this light out so others can see it, can use it, can have something from my energy. And it was wonderful, I can only say. And this is the essence that we all are. Just love. And now listen to Donald's talk about this.
If people are trying to please others, it's because they do not know who they really are. When you know who you really are and have chosen to step into the living of that, the idea of pleasing someone else becomes less and less useful to you, less and less attractive, less and less beneficial. Because too often, in order to please someone else, you have to abandon who you really are. And betrayal of yourself in order not to betray another is betrayal nonetheless. It's the highest betrayal. So we learn that, as we get older. And we learn that, I'm not going to betray myself anymore.
Rule number 7 is change your behavior with fear. Change your fear. Yeah. And there, after I awakened, I told you before, there came so much into me saying, you have to do this and that and that and that and that and that and that. Okay. And these things were like, I like to climb, but I'm so afraid of jumping down from when I'm on the top. You go, this voice was telling me, you go up there and you jump down and you have fun doing it. Have fun. And there was this voice saying, how do you want to, if this rope will break for whatever reason, you don't know that, but how do you want to die? How do you want to die? You don't know when you're going to die, but how? Always in love, happiness, and joy. So make sure that every second of your life you enjoy what you're doing. So enjoy your jump from the top of this, of the climbing, of the hill or whatever it is, the wall there. Overcome this anxiety of being all the time. No, enjoy it, because you don't know. Check it, okay, check your material, be concentrated, be aware, not concentrated, be aware, be completely awakened, aware. And then you see the things. If something is not good, if material is not good, if something, then you see it. If you are really aware and in your joy of life. And this way the voice said, on the trampoline, you were, even as a child, I was too afraid of making a loop in the trampoline, to jump up and doing a loop in the air, and so I told myself, or some voice told me, you have to do that. You can do that. Overcome your fear. Do it. And I did it. I was doing it. I was 38 I did that, and I was so happy, I cannot tell you, because I did it just once, and it was no problem. I never did it because I was always afraid as a child, but I knew inside of me, a voice told me, you can do so much more than you think, because you are 38 and you moved so many times in your life. Your body knows exactly what to do, when and how. It's trained enough, so trust it. It can do it. As well as, okay, I had like this, I don't know how you call it, this thing that you make around your hips, and you move your hips, and then you can rotate the ring game. And I did it a few years ago, and I was not able to do it. And this time the voice said to me, go buy yourself such a ring. You can do that. You are able to do it. And you know what? I took that thing, made like 3, 4, 5 moves, and at the third 5 move, I was able to do it. It was on my hips all the time. I was circling. It was really cool. I can only say. And then the next thing I did, the voice was saying, you are afraid since you crashed with your back on the board of when you jump into the water, the board where you can jump into the water. I used to make saltos in the air. There I did, not on the trampoline, you remember, but on in the water I did. I had no fear doing that, even backwards and all the. But then one day, as I was a child, it happened that I crashed with a board, and I came out crying. It was really hurting, and my dad, he was shouting at me, shut up, be calm, come on, hurry up with putting on your clothes, we have to go, and just shut up, don't cry. And it was really, from that moment I never did it again, and I was really like paralyzed, and I had a trauma from that moment. And this voice now told me, you will do this. And that was a big challenge, I must say. I did not do it right away. I was really afraid. That was very deep anchored inside of me. But then I did, and I was, oh my goodness, was I freaking afraid. There I was not like on the top of the mountain there and jumping down. Even though it's a different, it's not, you can see it. But what happens inside of you, where you get your trauma from, it's totally individual. One can have it from this one, another one can have it with another thing. It's totally different. So, so anxieties, can't overcome them. You can do so much more than you think you can. Because as we get older, we build up more anxieties, but really explode them away, because we are much more capable of things than even children. You have more experience than a child in your whole body movement system, so trust more yourself. Okay, now listen to Donald's talks about this issue, about this rule.
The biggest problem on the planet today is fear. It's been a problem for a long time, but it's a huge problem now. It's getting bigger every day, and the reason that fear is a problem, of course, is that it affects everything. Everything we think and say and do, all the decisions and choices we make, all of our reactions, all of our responses, everything that we're experiencing can come from only one of two places. Conversations with God has made that very clear to me. We're either coming from love were coming from fear. And my observation is that most people, most of the time, and myself, more than I would like to acknowledge, coming from fear. So we have to look at our fears and find out, what is fear anyway? What is it all about? What are we afraid of? And what impact is it having on the choices and decisions and the creations for which we have made ourselves responsible? By the way, that's one of the first fears that there is, the fear of being responsible, the fear of placing ourselves in a position of responsibility for all that we are creating. So fear is the first aspect of the human experience, as I understand it, that we need to work very hard to heal, and I might even say to transform. You transform fear, and you transform them.
Yeah, rule number 8. Focus on the right things. Ooh, yes, the right things. How often do I do things that don't bring me to where I want to be? But just because I'm too afraid of facing the things that I would have to deal with and go through and work with and grow with. Right? I still have that when I want to achieve something and I know, ooh, there is something I'm inside of myself, self-worth, self-belief. Am I worth? Am I good enough? The one, am I good enough, makes me always stop and, oh, I rather do, this and this and this and do totally other things, to just not having to face, to stand to myself and say, yes, I'm good enough, I can do that, and I do that, and maybe I'm not the 10 years experienced person, but what did we learn before? Experience is not the thing, it's knowledge inside of our soul. It's everything is there. So trusting more yourself that you can activate what you need in order to achieve a certain aim, a certain wish, a certain goal, whatever. Yeah, very nice one. Listen to Donald, what he has to say to it.
You can't get to the top of Mount Everest if you're deep sea diving. So if you try to do one thing but doing another, obviously you can't accomplish it. So the reason that we can't accomplish what we say we want is that what we say we want is the wrong thing. We're after the wrong thing. If we truly understood the real reason and purpose of life, we would be wanting and yearning for and seeking to achieve what we came here to achieve, why we came to the planet to begin with. That is what human life is all about. And what we don't understand is, if we did that, if we just retrained our focus to what it is we really were designed to achieve, all the rest would fall in on us without effort. All the things we think we want, peace, health, safety, security, opportunity, love, joy, all the rest, would automatically show up in our lives without any effort.
Yeah, rule number 9 is go with the flow of life. And be grateful during that. Everything that comes, all challenges, no matter how deep they are. And I remember last year was a very tough year. Well, no, the last 3 years, but last year it was really going deep underneath with my bank account. You know, I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm used to always have enough money on my bank account, but last year I did many decisions, not just one, a few ones, that broke my financial neck. I cannot say it differently. But you know, I knew from the perspective, and this is so important, and this is what Donald will talk about as well, the perspective change. I knew that my thoughts told me before, you want to experience to not have money, to be in the minus, to be in a very tough situation with money, because you are so focused on always having enough money on your account. That makes you feel good and safe and all this. But I felt that this was not what makes me happy. It makes me not happy
to always just be afraid of or watching out that my bank account is always in a good condition, no matter how I behave with other people for this reason. No? For example, my boyfriend, he was in a big financial problem as I met him already. Of course, it's also an experience I chose. And I was always in trouble with him because of that, because I thought, how can you be so different? I always take care that my money is enough on my bank account and you don't care about yours, and it's always in minus, and I have to take care of yours and blah blah blah. But I wanted to experience, because we were both on a lack of financial believing. He was denying, saying, oh, money is bad, money is bad, and I was saying, oh, money is good, I want more, I need to have a safe polster on my account. Yeah, the same leg, but from different directions. And I wanted to experience it. So this is what happened last year, and I was really, in some situations, it was so bad that I had to breathe, and I had to, oh my goodness, I was really very stressed about this. But what happened? I found this release, that I saw I'm still alive, and life goes on, and life is so much lighter without this pressure on me wanting to always watch out, check out that it's enough, and if there is not enough, if there is nothing, I don't have to care about it. Yeah, then it is as it is, and life goes on. We will get somehow food, we will get somehow clothes, and it was like that. Many people gifted me clothes for my children the last year, just by, not because of that situation, they just happened to be that I met other woman that said, oh, here I have some clothes for my children, or others like telling me, oh, I have this left, you want to have it, I give it for free to you. Or I got so many gifts for free, and I got even a payback from the taxes that I should not have gotten. I don't know where it came from, but I was supported, and it gave me so much trust in life back that I don't have to be afraid of nothing. It will always be taking care of me. Things will coincidentally happen to come and be making everything all right and good. And that was so wonderful, so light. It was so enlightening. Yeah? No pressure at all anymore. Yeah, now listen to Donald. His words about it.
If you're in the middle of difficulties and problems, how can you feel gratitude? And the answer is, you've got to fight to find the gift, even in the difficulty. That's what I was talking about earlier. When you shift your perspective from the perspective of the mind, because I want to tell you something, life will never make sense to your mind. If you're trying to get life to make sense with your mind, you might as well forget it, because life will never make sense to your mind, because mind is very logical and life is not. So in order for life to make sense, you've got to be, I mean this literally, out of your mind. And you've got to be into your soul. But when you begin to see life from the perspective of your soul, then even in the midst, as I was saying earlier, even in the midst of the worst of it, you can see the gift. And when you can see the gift, then you can say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this gift, which I would not have been able to perceive had I not embraced the perspective of the soul. But now I see what even this horrible situation is bringing to me. I even see that. Mm-hmm. But again, I want to say something. This is important, because when you see that, when you see the gift and begin to move into gratitude, the very shift The shift away from resisting to gratitude changes the exterior energies such that the situation itself improves, sometimes automatically, without you doing anything. I have a favorite thing that I like to say: life will resolve itself in the process of life itself. Mm-hmm. If you simply appreciate life itself. So what I've learned to do is to just go with the flow. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate this trite beyond belief, but it's true. Mm-hmm. Just let the river go by. Stop trying to make the river go where you think the river is supposed to go.
And then we come to the last one. Okay, and now the last one. Rule number 10. Being divine. Be divine. Whew, that's tough, huh? I know. Even for me right now, it is, to see that. I think that is the same that I interpret it like this. Like as I explained before, my experience where it happens that I understood or I felt like connected with everything, with plants, with animals, with people. I felt that connection, and it was so wonderful, so joyful, so easy, so flowing, so dancing, so vibrating. Yeah, this feeling is probably the feeling that he describes with being divine, feeling the divine that we all are. Yeah, now listen to Donald's wonderful way of saying what he means by that.
There's something quite extraordinary going on here. Most of us don't even know what it is. We don't know what it's about. We don't even know it's happening. But it is happening. Every moment of every minute of every hour of every day, it's happening. It's life happening all around us. And here's what not very many people really fully and deeply understand, much less appreciate. It's happening for a reason. There's a purpose behind it. There's a mechanism in place. There's a process that's being undertaken in life by life itself. And that process is the process by which we, as the livers of this life, as those who are living into the experience, create the experience we are living into as a means of experiencing and expressing who we really are. That life exists in all of its forms. The beauty of the night sky, the wonder of a garden of flowers, the incredible expression of humanity itself, the feeling of love, and the glory of a great idea which has just come to someone and exploded within them, an awareness of something that they can't even name, but they can feel. Ah, they say, that's me. Even as they see the night sky, they see a part of themselves there. There's a way to relate. Even as they see the flowers in a beautiful garden, they can see themselves there. There's something of beauty in me too. And look at this, I'm merely looking at myself in another form. And even as we look at other people, we can relate. And we say, there I go, being human, being wonderful, being glorious, being divine. There's something quite extraordinary going on here. It's a process, not only by which we experience ourselves as divine, but by which we define what divinity is to us. Can you imagine a process like this? We're actually creating God through the process of being God as we are choosing to create it. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. That's the miracle of life itself, flowing through you, in you, as you. And once you understand what's going on, the purpose of all of it, the divine process, you take part in it in a brand new way. Not unconsciously, but consciously. Not unintentionally, but intentionally. Not accidentally, but on purpose. And you see every golden moment of now as an opportunity to recreate yourself anew in the next grandest version of the greatest vision you ever held about who you are. And if you do that only for a short time, for an hour a day, an hour a week, an hour a month, your whole life will suddenly make sense to you. And you will touch the world in a way that brings sense to the world. That's how life itself changes and becomes the miracle it was intended to be when you decide to be the miracle you were intended to be. So be it. Being divine.
And now, as you listen to all 10 rules for your life, I have an extra bonus for you that is 4 questions that you can ask yourself. Write the answers down. Go with these questions for 10 minutes, calm, silent somewhere, and write down the answers. This will really make a difference for you from now on. Enjoy these questions. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful life. And always remember, you are the lottery win that you gave yourself by becoming alive here on this planet as a human being right now.
So people go through their entire lives without ever asking these extremely powerful and fundamental questions. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, where am I? That is, what is this place that's called physicality? Where am I? What is this? Number 3, why am I where I am? Why am I here? And number 4, what is it my opportunity to do about that? What do I intend to do about that? Now, I'll give you my answers. And by the way, when I say where am I don't mean where am I right now in the supermarket or at the train station, or I don't mean that. I mean, where am I in the broadest sense? That is, what is this place, this earth, this environment in the cosmos? Where am I? So how I would answer those questions if I was looking into the mirror right now, Neal, who am I? I am an individuation of divinity. I am an expression of God. I am a singularization of the singularity. I am a derivation of the essential essence. I am to God as a wave is to the ocean. Now, I know when I say that sometimes it sounds formulaic. That is, it sounds like an answer that I've given 1,000 times before. It sounds like a formula answer. But I'm sorry if it sounds like an answer that I've given 1,000 times before, because I have given it 1,000 times before. I ask myself this question all the time. So, but when you internalize the answer, when it's not just saying something by rote, but saying something in a way that has emotional content and meaning for you, I really am a demonstration of divinity. I really am an individuation of all that is, an individuation of God. That sets a context. It creates a contextual experience of my identity, my true self. Then I go to the second question. Okay, if that's who I am, then where am I? What is this place that I find myself in? And the answer for me is I am in the realm of the relative, where things are relative to other things, where there's big and small, fast and slow, up and down, left and right, here and there, before and after, now and then, good and evil, male and female. So I am in the realm of the physical, where I have physicalized, because who I am is not physical, it's metaphysical. The singularization of singularity that I am is a soul, or a spirit, if you please. But that spirit has chosen to physicalize in the realm of physicality so that I might express and experience myself. That's the third question. Why am I where I am? I am in the realm of the physical because that is the only aspect of the kingdom of God. It's all the kingdom of heaven. It's the only aspect of life, the only place within life's spheres, within the realms of life, where I can really experience and express my true nature. I can't do it in the realm of the absolute, because in the realm of the absolute, I simply know who I am. I always am divine. It's always here. It's always now. I am always the experience and the expression of love. So I am always love here and now, love here and now, love here and now. That's all very lovely to know that, but I want to experience it. I want to express it. So the expression of it is what occurs when I'm in the realm of the physical. And that's why I'm in the realm of the physical. That's why I'm living my life the way I'm living it, because it's giving me a chance to express my true nature. And the fourth question, what is it your opportunity to do about that? That question is answered in every single moment, in every golden moment of now, from one moment to the next. Each moment will provide a stage upon which you can act out, I want to sense, not in the sense of pretending, but in the sense of simply putting into action, to act out your decision and your choice about who you are. For instance, right now, because you asked me this question, this golden moment gives me a chance to act out my idea of who I am. And my idea of who I am is that aspect of divinity called clarity. I am clear about who I am, why I'm here, and what my opportunity is. And I'm demonstrating my clarity right now. And that's how the whole formula works.